right, welcome to Dual Realm Book Review YouTube channel. Today Andy's gonna be presenting Empire of the Damned. No,
Vampire. Empire of the
Empire
Vampire.
of the Vampire. Okay, by Jay Kristoff. I know I keep getting the new title confused with number one.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm reading right now.
One. Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about book one.
So tell me about Goodreads. It's Goodreads rating, your rating for it, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay, Goodreads rating has it at a 4.36. I will say definitely a book you either love or it does not work for you. I think it definitely has very similar vibes to The Witcher, the Netflix series at least. I have not read any of the books, so I can't say for sure on that. But at least if the Netflix series is anywhere near the books, because you have this main character who is rough, very rough around the edges, and he does grow throughout the book, and he kind of loses faith, and this is his kind of faith journey and regaining that faith a little bit. He is a vampire hunter. It goes through a lot, a whole lot in the 700 pages. And I would also say read the book. I'm sure the audiobook is great, but there are fantastic illustrations in the books.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend actually reading the physical copy.
Okay. Tell me about some main themes or tropes.
It is very dark. It is bloody. Vampires, obviously. I would almost borderline this on like a little horror because it's a little gory at times. Definitely adult. This is not a kid book.
Yeah.
Or even young adult. This is definitely full adult book. It gets a little dark sometimes, so if you have to put it down and read something else and come back, it may happen. I definitely think I read something else lighter afterwards. After I read
Stars and Smoke, I think.
That was for Golden Sun, but I read Empire of the Vampire in January. I don't remember, but I read something lighter afterwards because it's a little dark, but it's almost like a medieval post-apocalyptic, if that makes sense. Like the world is really going downhill.
Yeah. Speaking of the world, how's the world building in this book?
I really liked it. So, sometimes don't go in the Goodreads comments section. Just don't do it. There are a lot of people that didn't like it. But I liked the world, the concepts, the just the characters in the world and the way they interact. I enjoyed it. It's a really good story. It keeps you wanting to know what's going to happen next. And how they're going to work it out, because there were some times where it's like, I don't know how he's going to get out of this situation. Kind of like The Witcher, where it seems like there is no hope here, but then somehow something happens and he gets through it.
Did it seem realistic though? Like the world?
Oh yeah, it's not like some fairy comes down. Sometimes he would get saved by somebody, but it was a friend he'd made in the past. It was like there were people he knew.
Okay. So it was
not like something that came out of left field.
Okay. Yes, because I know sometimes that can be,
than I would say the most unrealistic part of it would be like timing wise, like, oh, you just came upon this person that you knew.
Yeah.
And you guys are like traveling all over this country. And you that would probably be the most unrealistic, other than like, because it's not like some angel comes down from heaven and like saves him. It doesn't work like that.
That was completely, not part of this world at all before.
No, and most of the time you would have either met the character or it explains like the backstory of how
they met.
The main character knew this person beforehand. Because there is like a whole order. So he's got like a whole group of other Silver Saints is what they call them, but vampire hunters. And then, it's like a whole brotherhood thing. So he runs into other Silver Saints often.
Okay. How's pacing for this book?
I would say the pacing, it is on the longer end of books, but it wasn't super slow. So similar to The Witcher, where like it bounced back in time on occasion, it kept you from getting kind of lulled. Like it's not just from point A to point B storytelling, which I think really lent itself to this type of story because you're really following one main character in his character, like how he became a Silver Saint and things that led up to where he starts this story, which is in prison. Imprisoned by vampires.
Okay.
So,
what about emotional impact?
You're gonna need a box of tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said it was dark, so
it is dark. I would say it's not quite, or it's gorier. I don't know. Golden Sun is still on that. It's kind of on the same level, I think. They're both pretty gory.
They're pretty dark. Yeah.
Just different. So this is definitely more. They're riding on horses and with swords versus Golden Sun. They're flying spaceships and dropping bombs.
A little more space exploration in Golden Sun. And you talked about the main character. You follow one main character throughout this. Anything else you want to add about him in general?
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's a bit of a crass character, but again, it kind of makes sense as to where he once you get through the story. Because at first, my first initial reaction to him, first impression of this character, was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like him. But then you learn more about him, and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get why you are rough around the edges and why you talk like this, and it begins to make a lot more sense, particularly once you learn more about the order and just all the stuff that he went through. It makes sense that he is
the way he is.
The way he is.
Anything else you want to add about this book? I don't think I have any more questions.
I will say it is a bit spicy, but not like rom-com spicy, but like there's
sex.
Yes.
All right. Well, like and subscribe and join us next week. I don't know what book we're doing next week. So
Sight or something. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. That's kind of our mood reader motto. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise. All right.